The gentleman from Florida.
Madam President, I stand today to condemn the anti-Semitic and hate-fueled murders of Yaron Lachinsky and Sarah Milgram that occurred last night at the hands of a Hamas sympathizer. This was a sickening, violent, and anti-Semitic attack in our nation's capital. These two young professionals were targeted and murdered because they represented Israel and the Jewish people, with their murderer chanting, "Free Palestine," after killing them in cold blood. These were innocent, out for a night together at the Capitol Jewish Museum here in D.C., just like members of our own staff do each and every week. This anti-Semitism and hate for Israel and the Jewish people is disgusting, unacceptable, and must be condemned on every level. It's despicable and it's dangerous. We've seen a rise in anti-Semitism and anti-Israel hate since the October 7, 2023 attacks. We've seen Hamas sympathizers take over college campuses and instill fear into Jewish students. We've seen violent protests on our streets and now in our nation's capital. Jewish Americans are afraid to walk outside or live their daily lives. For nearly 600 days now, Israel has defended itself against Iran-backed Hamas terrorists who want to destroy Israel and destroy the Jewish people. These terrorists murder babies and women in cold blood, take and murder innocent people, and brag about their acts with no remorse. They took innocent people, including Americans, hostage and tortured them. They still hold the bodies of American hostages to deprive their families of closure. Israel is the United States' greatest democratic ally in the Middle East. We cannot abandon our ally. Thankfully, we have a president who is an ally of Israel and is working to fight anti-Semitism in the United States. President Trump is pushing back on colleges and universities that allow hateful anti-Semitic actions on campus that threaten the safety of Jewish students. He has appointed the most pro-Israel cabinet ever assembled. He is committed to defending Israel, combating terrorism, and protecting Jewish Americans. Today, I rise to condemn last night's heinous and anti-Semitic attack on these innocent people. I condemn this hateful rhetoric against Israel and against the Jewish people, who deserve the right to live freely and without fear in the United States and around the world. The United States must always stand with Israel and the Jewish people, and today we join together to remember the innocent lives taken in an act of hate and pay tribute to their lives and the contributions of the Jewish people to our nation. The fight against anti-Semitism is a bipartisan one. I am grateful for my colleague Jacky Rosen for working with me to draft a resolution that draws attention to anti-Semitism in America and declaring May Jewish American Heritage Month. I yield to my colleague from Nevada, Senator Rosen.
Oops, there we go. I need the microphone. Madam. Well, I want to begin by thanking my colleague from Florida for his bipartisanship and his partnership in moving to pass this bipartisan resolution to recognize American Jewish Heritage Month by unanimous consent. I also want to take a moment to speak about the horrific murders that took place last night. Like so many other Jews in America and around the world, I woke up this morning heartbroken by the news of yet another unspeakable act of anti-Semitic violence that occurred late last night. This time in our nation's capital, less than 1 mile from where I'm standing this very moment. The shooting occurred outside of the Jewish Capitol Museum, where the American Jewish Committee was holding a large event, and the shooter went there specifically to target and kill Jews and people who he perceived to be Jewish. This anti-Semitism, plain and simple. There's no justification in the world for carrying out or condoning this violent and vile hate crime. It's pure anti-Semitic violence. My heart is shattered for the 2 Israeli embassy workers who were killed, Yaron and Sarah, taken from us far, far too soon. Both committed to public service, social action, peace, the betterment of the world. They were a young couple in love. I've read reports that Yaron was planning to propose to Sarah next week in Israel. They were cruelly taken from us far too soon at the beginning of their lives. May their memory be for a blessing, and may their killer be brought to swift justice. It's a tragedy that these innocent lives cut short by hate. And it continues to be a tragedy that these incidents continue to occur in the United States and all over the world. Over the last few years alone, we've seen anti-Semitic hate, extremist violence. They've done nothing but increase across this country. All over America, Jewish people, we've been threatened, beaten, verbally accosted, we've been killed just because of our faith, just because of who they are, because of who we are. We've seen horrendous anti-Semitic incidents and attacks on Jewish communities, at schools and on college campuses, on Jewish-owned places of business, and on synagogues and places of worship. And incidents of anti-Semitism in the U.S. and globally have risen dramatically since Hamas's brutal terrorist attack on October 7th. All of it is wrong. It has no place in our country, no place in our society, no place in the world. Those who commit these egregious acts, they want to send a message. They want to terrorize Jews, they want to scare Jews, they want to intimidate us, and it's vital that we all stand up together and send a clear and forceful message. And the message is this: we will not be afraid. We will not be afraid. We cannot be silent. There's desperate need to confront dangerous and growing anti-Semitism in our country, around the world, to show that bigoted efforts to intimidate us will not work. We cannot be afraid. We cannot be silent. And that's why I'm here on the Senate floor today. By passing this resolution and recognizing Jewish American Heritage Month, we are not just celebrating the numerous accomplishments and contributions that Jews have made to our country. We are sending the message back, a message that Jewish people have a place in America, that this is our home as well, that our lives, well, that they have value and they have meaning, just like anyone else, and that our country stands with it. So I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to allow this resolution to pass, and I want to thank Senator Scott of Florida for his partnership in the effort to counter anti-Semitism and hate everywhere. So, Madam President, I ask unanimous consent the Senate proceed to the consideration of S-Res 246 submitted earlier today.
The clerk will report.
Senate Resolution 246, recognizing the significance of Jewish American Heritage Month and calling on elected officials and civil society leaders to counter anti-Semitism.
Without objection, the Senate will proceed to the measure.
I ask unanimous consent that the resolution be agreed to, the preamble be agreed to, and that the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Without objection.
Thank you, Madam President. Again, thank you to all my colleagues for passing this important resolution unanimously today. I yield the floor.